Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Give us a little bit. You're an ETL. You started the business. You started Mexico. Tell us about the pre-launch. What did you do to prepare for the pre-launch?
I just actually just started asking people for referrals. Who do they know in Mexico? And I started getting so busy through WhatsApp that I started doing my own conference calls and use that as like leveraging myself and my time so I can start spreading the word faster than just sending texts and calling one-on-ones. And it just started multiplying from there.
Leveraging. I love that word, leveraging your time. I love it. So when you first got started in the first week, how many IBOs did you have signed up for the pre-launch?
For the pre-launch, signed up, there was about 20.
Wow. And then the next following week, the next week or two, what happened with those 20?
It just doubled, and they kept doubling and tripling.
Wow. Kept doubling.
I'm sorry, you got cut off.
40 to 20, then 40, then 60, then 80, and now the... Yeah,
and right now, before September 1st, I was up to 1,000-something people that had committed and saying they're going to get in before the end of October. And now that we actually started scribing people, having them as brand leaders, the first week we had about 20-something people the first day, and then after that, every single day I wake up and there's more than 40-something people that just joined the team without me. I can't even keep up with them. The alerts just keep going off every 2 minutes. And I think we're up to like 2-something.
How many, dear?
200 and something. I don't know. This morning I woke up to another 50-something alert.
Wow. You know, that's amazing. To think about what's going to happen when November comes around, the first check roll out from Mexico. Can you imagine what her check looked like with a big comment and with a bunch of numbers in front of the comma? And our big promoter is the team coordinator. How many legs do you have starting in Mexico? Just give us an idea.
There's 13 legs going, but about 7 of them is actually working really hard right now.
You got 13 legs going. What kind of cities are you in? Just gotta throw out some of the cities you're in.
Actually, I'm in the whole 35 states in Mexico and 49 cities, which is Hidalgo.
39. You're in all 39 states?
35. The 35
states. And how many cities in those states combined are you in?
49.
49. And a lot of them are small towns. They're always the big towns. Throw out some of the cities that you got people in.
Guadalajara, Zihuatanejo, Acapulco, Hidalgo, Coahuila, Hidalgo, Colima, Playa del Carmen. We have Acapulco, Cancun, Mexico DF, and we also have Zacatecas, Sonora, Morelia, Monterrey. We just have so many of them. So Sinaloa. And
wow.
Right now we're just very excited because we got people in TJ. The closest to the border.
Tijuana.
Yeah.
Tijuana, I love it. Man, you maybe want to go down to San Diego and start on every Hispanic person that runs across the border. That is amazing. Look, we got a lot of people listening on here, and their mouth is probably dropped right now. Their eyes are bugging out of their head. Like, how did she do that? So, if as we have people on there listening, what should everybody on this conference call be doing to get somebody in Mexico? It's such a simple little thing. People think that you did something super incredible. Don't get me wrong, what you did, it was incredible. But what should everybody be doing that's listening into the call today to get them in Mexico with 3, 4, or 5 legs?
Well, what I did is I actually just followed the steps that Mr. Larry Raskin has been going around giving everybody the tours, and I'm just asking for referrals. But one thing that I was just recently experienced myself, I actually started going through there's a lot of younger people on the phone, and social media is very big, and I went through social media, and, I don't know if your local states, you guys have like those garage sales through Facebook. I actually looked through international ones for the República of Mexico, and I just started going through the garage sales of Acapulco or Hidalgo or Colima, and I just put there as just something very briefly, would you like to get paid in Spanish, would you like to get paid while people are sleeping every time people use their phones. And I started getting a lot of people answering to that, give me more information on that, and I started slowly giving them, creating a relationship, and I was very proud of myself because this one I did all on my own from beginning to end. I just sealed a deal with this guy from Hidalgo. He sings in a group, and yesterday he was about to go celebrate Mexico Independence Day, but his groups are more than 15 people, and he's in 3 different groups, and he's very excited because he travels around, Mexico singing and doing events, so he's really excited that he's going to be able to be doing 2 things that he really loves, spreading, marketing, talking to people about business, and then singing. But I used just the social media part, and here I was. He signed up before he went to work. He was really excited, and he had everything all set up. He had already been following, getting on my conference calls and everything, and he's following me on Facebook. One of the things is just if you show a lot of excitement on Facebook and without really pushing, those people that are watching you, they're going to start asking you, and that's how I started with a lot of people that I changed my way of my Facebook. I don't put anything negative, and I just talk about work, and I throw in once in a while lifestyle, and then continue with what I do for a living. I'm not really afraid of saying that before I was like an agent, like an undercover agent or something, but now I'm just letting the whole world know. Secret agent, yeah. Now I really just don't care.
Wow. So that's amazing how you've done that. And you got all kind of people from every walk of life. You got 1 or 2. How many judges do you have? Judges down there? Do you have?
There's like about 9 now. 9 judges. There's all kinds of doctors. We have the guys that brought all Uber to Mexico. All 15 of them have joined. I sealed the deal while we were in Philadelphia, while everybody was at lunch during on Saturday. I got on the conference calls, and I sealed the deal with 15 of those people that started all Uber in Mexico. So they're actually going to have all their Uber drivers use Flash Mobile and also use their Uber so they can work with them.
So basically, you started about who do you know, who do you know, who do you know. And one of the things that I think you share with me, people that you talked to a couple of years ago, or a year or 2 ago, or 6 months ago that didn't want to hear anything about it, hey, you call them back, say, look, I know it's not for you. I appreciate it. I get it. It's not for you. You make a ton of money. It's not for you. But who do you know in Mexico that's not okay? And you got people that referred you to people, and you just taproot it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And after the people, I'm actually aiming right back at the same person, but I kind of take it away from them and I say, this is not even for you because I know you're so busy and you're doing so well here in the United States. But whoever you're in Mexico, imagine that you can help this person, because a lot of us Hispanics, we work really hard to send money to our family in Mexico. So I said, wouldn't you like us to help some, you don't have to help them anymore, but who do you know? They sit there and start giving me names, and I continue to ask until they say, okay, no more. I say, and I keep going. And after that, I immediately call those people and I tell them what's going on, and they get so excited. Next thing you know, I start having them start building teams and getting them on conference calls. And a day or 2 later, I call them back, the original person that I started with, and I tell them, actually, I think you are good at this because of you, those 5 people that you referred to me, now they have about 45 people that are about to join. And then they keep asking me, well, Perla, why don't you tell me what's going on again? And I'm like, well, no, this is not for you. And I just let them sweat for a couple of days, and then I go back to them and I tell them, well, now you have an opportunity to join before they go in. But and it takes the pressure away from me asking them again, and then they convince themselves that they're really good at it. I just keep doing that, and it keeps working for me. So hopefully that works for some of you guys.
That will work good for everybody on the line. As you were talking, I just got out my calculator, and I'm saying, okay, she's an ETL today, but by the time the paperwork comes in by December, you'll be a team coordinator with, how many legs again?
There's 13 legs, but 7 are really working right now.
But that's okay, but 13 legs, you'll be a team coordinator by December when the first check goes out. It's just an ETL, and I'm just going to go to ETL payout. If she got all 200, and by December you'll probably get to 600. But I'm just saying, if I just use today's numbers, folks, because of what she did, follow her lead. That's what I said. Follow the lead with 200 IDOs right now as an ETL. As an ETL with $200 per IDO and 200 have signed in and qualify them, that's $40,000 as an ETL.
Whoa.
Now, Now, that's an ETO payout. She's like, whoa. You know what? She's so focused on getting people qualified, she didn't know what she's going to even make. But if she's a team coordinator, they're 400, from 200 to 400, that just doubles to 80 grand. There's a potential of 40 to 80 grand on paper for her. Now, watch what she just talked about here. How would you like to make that? Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all ain't catching what I'm saying. Oh, my God. I'm having a heart attack over myself. Look, folks, and all she's doing is tapping. Who do you know? Who do you know? She got phone calls going 24 hours a day. What time do you normally get up in the morning working your Mexican group, your Hispanic group, the Mexico?
I get up at 3 o'clock is my first actual call that I start getting, and by 8 o'clock I'm already done with like 50 or 60 phone calls a day. In the morning,
50 to
just
60
the morning
phone calls a day.
In the morning.
So give us an idea of your day. I know we're running a little late, but I just want to get an idea.
Well, I wake up.
Mode of operation.
Okay, well, first in the morning, first thing I do is I do a lot of my praying, and then I do journaling, and I kind of relax a little bit, but immediately it starts already with phone calls that I already have lined up. And these are people.
What time?
We're talking about the first phone call is around 3:30. Yeah.
3:30 in the morning. That's right. Okay.
Because it's over there, it's like 5:30 already in the morning in Mexico.
So therefore, you're talking to them in their time zone before they lunch off to go to work. You're on the phone talking to them. See, that's what I do also, not to, throw you off a little bit, but I get up about 4 and I'm out the door working out, praying and everything else. And then by 6, here in Vegas, I'm calling my people, or actually 5:30, I call my people back in South Carolina and people on the East Coast, because for them, it's on their drive in. It's 8 or 8:30 for them. So that is exactly what I'm trying to get across. You're calling them in their time zone before they get to work, and she'll do whatever she's got to do to make that happen. Some of y'all out there want to get up at 3 o'clock and build a team like this, but I guarantee you want that check between 40 and 80 grand, don't you? Are you willing to get up and do what she's doing? Continue on this. So you start off at 3:30, you're making calls down there. It's 8 o'clock for them, or 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning for them. You're calling them up. Your first call at 3:30. Your phone's going off. You're calling between 50 and 60 calls a day. And what time does your day normally end?
Well, the last usually call that I make is like around midnight. Midnight's usually the last time. Yeah. Because what happens, there's 3 courses that happens. The people that I talk to first thing in the morning, throughout their day by lunchtime, they got so pumped up, and I feed this information in the brain, and they can't concentrate throughout the day at work, that by lunchtime they already have more people talking to me. And I purposely free up my time like during lunchtime in Mexico, because I already know it repeats itself. So I've kind of already learned that during this time, these people that I talk in the morning, they're going to already have people ready for me during lunchtime. And then, after the conference calls that I have, people are getting so excited from the conference calls that entice me up for the evening of just people calling me, last minute, hey, can you just answer this quick little question? They're ready to sign up, and, just kind of sealing the deal at the end. But my night just gets longer after that, because it's 6 o'clock here, but it's 8 o'clock at night over there in Mexico.
Right. Now, before we end the call, and I just want to thank you for your insight, because people out there taking notes and listening to, folks, you guys can go back and re-listen to this conference call. Go to freeconferencecalling.com, put in the code, and put in today's date, and re-listen to it over and over and over, and take notes on it. Now, let's say I'm a brand new IBO in the United States. How exactly, walk us through the process of signing somebody up in Mexico, because I know people are like, what do I do? I can already feel people's craziness of asking questions. So how would give me a step by step how to find somebody in Mexico that lives in the United States?
Okay, so you guys will go ahead and go to your regular my what is it called, my ACN IBO site. And you're going to go where it says Get Started. But before you do that, you're going to select the country from the United States. You're going to go to Mexico. And it's going to automatically take you to, because we all have it, it's the Flashmobile store for us. And it's a very trendy, sexy, bright, colorful website that we all have. You just have to select Mexico. And it automatically takes you to there. There's really not a lot going on that page. It's just very trendy, talking about Flashmobile. And it says Start Now. You can switch it to English or Spanish. So if you are presenting it to someone that speaks Spanish, immediately at the top is very friendly. If you already have a picture lined up for your website, a picture will pop up of you right there. and you can switch the language to Spanish, and then it'll take you directly to how to subscribe to the actual brand meter. And very important, if you guys are going to sign up brand meters, you got to make sure that they have a curb. It's a CURP. That's their identification that they need. That is important. It's required by ACN. Not everybody has that type of ID. So if you let them know in advance, they have to make sure they go get it. It's some sort of like a government ID that they have two different kinds of IDs in Mexico. But the curb is the one that is required.
Let me jump in here real quick. A curve. Where do the people in Mexico get a curve from the government?
It's like the DMV, like here. They go to like a DMV.
There you go.
They have to go. Yeah. So they'll go. They get it right then and there. If they don't have to wait or anything, because the first things that you have to do in our page to sign up, it says the full and last name. And then the second thing will be that they're going to ask him is the curb identification number.
So let me go back here. So they're asked for their name and they're going to ask for their curb number.
Mm-hmm. Which is an identification number. And then
just like our social. Okay.
Right. And then they're going to, no, it's like an ID. And they're going to hit next. And then the other question that's very important, not everybody in Mexico knows, is this is what's holding a lot of my people up. They have 30 days to fix this, but if they already know ahead of the time, it's best if you already inform them. They need to know what an RSC is, their type of hacienda. That over there is like...
Hold on. They need to know what now?
They need to know their RSC.
RSV?
Yeah, R, S as in Frank, and C as a cat. That is the way they're going to file their taxes.
Got it.
And that's the way how they're going to file their taxes. There's four different options. Nobody in Mexico knows what it is. So they kind of skip that, and they're able to move on to the next step and finish the completion of the application. But they will be put on hold for about 30 days until they fix that. And in order for them to fix and find out, that one, it's a lot of process. They have to file, they have to go to their government, get an appointment, file to know, and then they analyze what they do for a living, and then they tell them how they're able to file.
Got it.
Okay, and once they do have it, a lot of my people, they started September 1st. By September 5th, we already had it taken care of. So you can take care of that within a week. All you have to do once you do have the RSC information, you just have to call the IBO number for Mexico, their headquarters in Mexico, and they fix it right then and there. Or they also have a brand leader chat live, like us, how we have chat live for ACN. They have that as well, and they will be able to take care of it and update it right then and there. It takes a few minutes.
Wow. Okay.
And towards the end, they're going to be able to select how they want to do their method of payment. Now they have credit cards, debit cards, and they also have a tab of where they can choose cash. But when they choose the cash, they have to choose which bank they want to do the wire instructions at, and then, or they can do like a 7-Eleven, or the 7-Elevens that we have here. There's a lot of 7-Elevens in Mexico. They can choose one of them. They have to have the address, and they have to make sure that transaction is done within 5 days. If it's not done within 5 days, then it will take that license away from them. And I've had about 12 of them go through that. But it was an easy call. They called to the IBO Mexico headquarters. They explained their situation, why they couldn't do it, and they renewed it. ACN is very workable with them, but don't let that happen to them. From there, I learned my lessons, and I have my people, if they're going to select cash, they have to pay within 72 hours, no later than that.
Good tip. That's a very good tip. All right, so after that, then what?
And that's it. And then once they have a prescribed, they actually get a brand leader. They're going to get their license number. 10 minutes later, they can activate their front.
Okay, slow down. Now, once they get their brand number, which is like our team ID number, go ahead. Try to break it down so people could be real clear on this.
They're called brand leaders over there. They're not IBOs. So once they get their brand leader license number, they're going to have them wait 10 minutes before they can activate their storefront. And once they activate their storefront, they can go to their back office. And what's really cool and exciting that just happened yesterday is from now until December 31st, our ACN headquarters is giving them their YBA for free from now until December 31st, and it's also counted as points for them. So it's really exciting, and now they're able to go to their back office, look at all their organization, exactly how we get to see ours. But our YBA monthly, we pay $39.99. Right now, they're getting it for free, and they're able to see their organization, where they can work hard and who they need to work with and motivate people and, have a little bit more organization. It's actually put my whole team up, and that's why this morning when I woke up, there were so many more alerts because now they're actually seeing it all come together, and it's like motivate them even more.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, young lady, we want to thank you for coming on the call to show people what's happening in Mexico, how you built it to 1,000 people and slowly but surely getting into the system and correcting and what they got to go through. And I want everybody on the call to understand there's a little bit of a process, but it's worth it. Now she's got 1,000 people down in Mexico. 200 of them are already in the system, and every day she wakes up and throughout the day she's getting more and more. How many IBOs did you say came in from last night to this morning in your team?
It was a total of 56 alerts.
56 alerts from last night to today. Folks, I know what everyone is thinking. My God, I wish I would. Well, yeah, it can be you if you go to work. Do the steps that you heard on this call. Now, if I go back and re-listen to this call over and over and take notes on it, so therefore you'll know exactly what to do as you build your Mexican organization. Wow. All right, that's been a lot. I think you covered a lot for us to understand. For folks on this side of the border trying to get people over there, now you know the steps that you must take and how to avoid the pitfalls and things that she's already worked through to make your job easier in getting your people signed up. Any more words in closing before we close the call today?
Yes, something very, very important. If you guys want to do business in Mexico and you guys keep asking other people, hey, what's going on in Mexico, I'm going to make it very easy for you guys. Go to your back office, go to where it says preferences, and go where it says ACN in action, and if you're in the United States, you're automatically enrolled to the United States, but also select Mexico, because with that, you're going to get all the action, all the news through your emails of what's going on in Mexico, and all the information that I'm getting. I'm nobody special. I'm just getting it because I selected Mexico because I'm doing business in Mexico. So if you're thinking of doing business in Mexico, get prepared. Figure out how to get the information, and that's the way how you're going to be able to find everything
by
the minute.
Go back to the back office, click preferences, click on Mexico, and you get all the updates. Like I get all the updates in Europe and as well as UK, Australia, and I also add on Mexico. So I get all the broadcasts from all those areas of the country or the world that I want to know. See, folks, I'm trying to get you guys to build it locally but think globally. And it's all in your back office under preferences. That's what you need to have clicked on to. And that way you're into where the meetings are going on, any news. Like this, for example, they got the YBA, the back office assistant, for free into December because they wanted the people down in Mexico to see how big the organization is growing automatically and already. How motivated would you be when you woke up the next morning and there's 56 new IPOs in your back office? So here again, these are things that you've got to have in place to build a big organization. This young lady is showing us the way on how she's doing it. Now, can you imagine by December getting a nice Christmas check, a bonus, a check by Christmas for between $40,000 to $80,000? Here again, 40 to 80. Think about it. What kind of Christmas check she's going to have? Because she's putting the work in now. See, the reason why a lot of us won't get there because we're not willing to do the work. She's up at 3. She goes to bed at 12. She's up the next one at 3. She's out there putting it in. But she's going to get paid for the efforts. And by this time next year, can you imagine what her checks are going to look like this time next year? Her checks will be so big the bank will bounce. And you know what? As everybody on this call, you can do the same thing she's doing. Tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Coast time on this number, we're going to have she's going to be doing a live presentation. It's not a 1 through 10. They call it a presentation for brand leaders in Mexico. So if I were you, and I want to build, I would be smart today by getting on the phone, calling every Hispanic person you know from Mexico, and get them on the line tonight at 6 o'clock. We load these lines up, and she does a fantastic 1 through 10 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Coast time. So don't be calling me asking me what the, no. Go back and re-listen to the conference call. Get your people on here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't ask for a number. Not. Get your people on this call 6 o'clock p.m. Monday, write that down. Wednesday, write that down. And Friday at 6 o'clock Pacific Coast time, and have your people listen up. You follow back up with them 45 minutes later with a phone call and get them started. That's how you're going to build Mexico from whatever part of the country you're in, no matter what country you're in. If I got my friends over in Australia, you're listening in, my friends in Canada, that's how you're going to build it. And you, too, will have hundreds of people on your team before December. Can you imagine getting a check for 20, 30, 40, 60, 80 grand by Christmas? That's what I want you guys to understand that's in store for you, for those that take this information seriously and get after it. And with that, I want to thank Ms. Pearl Bernal for being our special guest speaker. We went a little bit over time, but I warned you guys to get the fullness of it. God bless you all. Sunday night, we'll be back on this conference call live at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Coast time.